Lam Swaha, Lam Swaha, Lam Swaha. Tapa Varuna Shabada Bada Baba Varunum, Tapa Varuna Shabada Bada Baba Varunum, Tapa Varuna Shabada Bada Baba Varunum. Nguyện đem lòng thành kính gửi theo đám mây hương, phương Phật khắp mười phương cúng dường ngôi tam bảo, thề trọn đời chư đạo theo tự tánh làm lành. Cùng pháp giới chúng sanh cầu Phật từ gia hộ, tâm Bồ Đề kiên cố, sa bê khổ nguồn mê chóng quay về bờ giác.
We'll begin our ceremony with 3 bows from the monks. Chant. Precepts incense, liberation of views incense, clouded light of incense, pouring into the Dharma realms, offering to the highest teachers of the 10 directions. I respectfully bow to the altar of the incense cloud, Bodhisattva. We pray this wonderful cloud incense will spread out to all the worlds in the 10 directions as an offering to all the Buddhas, wonderful Dharmas and Bodhisattvas, endless Ravaka assembly, and all saints and sages. We pray it will form an altar of light and do the Buddha's work according to its true nature. We pray it will benefit all sentient beings, so they will rise the bodhicitta, depart from evil karma, and attain the highest way. Homage to the Buddha. Dharma King without higher honor, in the 3 worlds without comparison, the guiding teacher of heaven and man, Father of the 4 kinds of beings, I now in one thought take refuge, able to destroy 3 times karma, praise and adoration, even 100,000 kalpas cannot extinguish. Danlai, which is bow from the monks. I bow respectfully to all directions of space, all realms past, present, and future, to the 10 directions, all Buddhas, the honored Dharma, the enlightened Sangha, the permanent 3 treasures. I bow respectfully to the master of the samsara world, our own teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, to the future coming Maitreya Buddha, to great wisdom Manjushri Bodhisattva, to great effort Samattabhadra Bodhisattva, Dharma protector Bodhisattvas, and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas assembling at the great holy mountain. I respectfully bow to the great love, great compassion, Amitabha Buddha of the Western Paradise, to the great compassionate Avalokiteshvara Buddha, to the great power Mahasamprapta everybody have a Heart Sutra chant? It's the one that says Maha Prajna. Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. Of the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering, and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says, Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhiswaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhiswaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhiswaha. Identity of relative and absolute. The mind of the great sage of India was intimately conveyed from west to east. Among human beings are wise men and fools, but in the way there is no northern or southern patriarch. The subtle source is clear and bright. The tributary streams flow through the darkness. To be attached to things is illusion. To encounter the absolute is not yet enlightenment. Each and all the subjective and objective spheres are related, and at the same time independent. Related yet working differently, though each keeps its own place. Form makes the character and appearance different. Sounds distinguish comfort and discomfort. The dark makes all words one. The brightness distinguishes good and bad phrases. The four elements return to their nature as a child with its mother. Fire is hot, wind moves, water is wet, earth hard, icy, ears hear, nose smells, tongue tastes the salt and sour. Each is independent of the other. Cause and effect must return to the great reality. The words high and low are used relatively. Within light there is behind in walking. Each thing has its own intrinsic value and is related to everything else in function and position. Ordinary life is the absolute as a box and its lid. The absolute works together with the relative like two arrows meeting in midair. Reading words, you should grasp the great reality. Do not judge by any standards. If you do not see the way, you do not see it, even as you walk on it. When you walk the way, it is not near, it is not far. If you are deluded, you are mountains and rivers away from it. I respectfully say to those who wish to be enlightened, do not waste your time by night or day. Ordained to be, do you wish to take the precepts of the Buddha and the ancestors?
I do.
Are you ready to give up your identity so that you may find it?
I am.
You may kneel. All the evil karma ever committed by me since of old,
All the evil karma ever committed by me since of old,
caused by greed, anger, and delusion, which have no beginning,
caused by greed, anger, and delusions, which have no beginning,
born of my body, mouth, and mind,
born of my body, mouth, and mind,
I now make full and open confession thereof.
I now make full and open confession thereof.
You will now take the 3 refuges. All together, Ordination Council. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. For a second time. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. For a third time. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. And now you do something.
I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge.
For a second time.
I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge.
For a third time.
I go to the Buddhas for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge.
Do you wish to take the precepts of a novice, a home leaver, and thus follow the path of a monk?
I do.
So, you have requested to be given the precepts of a novice, and as your master, I, along with all of those assembled here, agree to this ordination, so we must ask, do you have the permission of your parents?
I do.
And the rest of your family?
I do.
Are you healthy, able, and free of diseases that would prevent you from functioning as a monk?
I am.
Are you free from debt and financial obligation that would prevent you from functioning as a monk?
I am.
Are you free of legal, criminal, or civil obligations that would prevent you from functioning as a monk?
I am.
Are you free of obstacles? As you are free of obstacles, you will now then take the 10 precepts of a novice monk.
Do you undertake the precepts of not taking a life?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not taking that which is not yours?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precepts of not speaking that which may harm others?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not committing adultery or engaging in sexual misconduct?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not becoming intoxicated?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not sleeping in large, high beds, nor to sit in elevated chairs?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not adorning yourself with flowers, perfume, or garlands?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not indulging in sensual entertainment?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not eating at inappropriate times?
I do.
Do you vow to undertake the precept of not holding and hoarding gold, silver, or wealth?
I do.
Finally, do you vow to undertake the precept training of a bodhisattva in vowing to be kind and to encourage others, refraining from discouraging others, including yourself, to refrain from being boastful and self-centered, vowing rather to be generous, to be grateful for what you have, and to refrain from yearning for things that do not belong to you? And do you vow to promote harmony, refraining from acting in anger or hatred, always affirming and upholding the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha?
I do.
Then we do now transmit to you the golden precepts of a novice monk, knowing that you will resolutely uphold these precepts, which will allow you to actualize the Buddha way. Knowing that these precepts are both simultaneously open and closed, yet undertake them with the full intention of all those before you, that is, vowing to not abandon your precepts, preferring first to give up your own life. This gravity and seeming juxtaposition will serve you well as your continual teacher. Venerable Wanji incense the robe and kesa, and then he'll present you with your robe.
You have made confession, taking the ninefold refuge and the 10 precepts. You have shaved your head and resolved to your purpose. Here I grant you the robe of a novice.
So my friend, this is the Buddha's robe. All of the enlightened ancestors of our tradition have worn it. So I invite you to hold it to your head and recite the Kesa verse line by line after us. Vast is the robe of liberation.
A formless,
Vast is the robe of liberation.
A formless field of merit garment.
A formless field of merit garment.
Donning the Tathagata's teachings.
Donning the Tathagata's teachings.
To help save all beings.
To help save all beings.
You may now put on your Kesa. So blessings to you, my friend. As Most Venerable Hoang Thich said, when we both took our Bhikshu precepts with him, stay close to your Kesa. have Most Venerable Wanji here incense the certificates.
So, Five Mountains Zen Order. Certificate of Novice Ordination. Do not make good or bad. Do not get involved in appearing and disappearing. Harmonize with each and every dharma without concern for remembering or forgetting. Do not be seduced with intelligence and learning. Abandon your attachment to body and mind. Then, true freedom is attained. Discovering at last your true undefiled self, while sitting in silence like a great oak tree or a massive granite boulder. Don't be led by misperceptions. Only here is there nothing left to discriminate. This was a poem written by our great ancestor, Baijiang Beihai, and Baijiang was a man who codified the original Buddhist monastic ethics and set up the process by which people still live in large temples in China today. The rest of the certificate reads, this is to certify that on the 6th day of September in the year 2014, Victor Chu, original name, Giac Sunya, Buddhist name, that's his Korean name, took 10 precepts at Chua Fa Bong as a Samanera novice monk in the Five Mountain Zen Order. And the certificate is signed by all of the masters here present today. Welcome to our family.
So also, Pat Ya Lam De Jiantong, Yoidan Sai, and I will leave the rest to you. So this is to certify that on this day of September 6, 2014, in the Buddhist year 2558, at Giac Dharma Seal Temple in Kansas City, Missouri, USA, we have given Zen Buddhist novice ordination to Victor Chu, born July 14, 1993, with the Buddhist name Thich Giac, awakened heart of the Shakyas. He has taken refuge in the triple gem of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and has vowed to undertake the 10 precepts of the Vinaya Pratimoksha and Brahmajala Sutra as a Shramanera under the direction of Zen Master Thich Tam. So thank you for your commitment to this path. So now we'll just hear a little bit from each of the precepts masters present, beginning with our Most Venerable Wanji Dharma.
First off, I want to congratulate you on taking this step forward to yourself and to your community, to your family, and to the greater Mahasangha. We take this path rather seriously, and yet we also know that it is full of joy and love and compassion. So we occasionally get to laugh and joke. It's important to remember, as the Most Venerable Suhita Dharma did tell us, always keep your precepts and your gasa close. Meaning, always remember them. I'm sure that other people are going to talk about things, and I always tell the same stories, and I'm kind of getting tired of saying the same thing over and over again. But I will say this, it's important to know when the precepts are closed, and for the most part they are closed. You know, it's very easy to deceive ourselves, to think that we are already an enlightened being and that we know. So this is why Venerable Thich told us, keep your precepts and your kasa very close. They will not let you down. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Venerable Guiding Teacher.
So, once again, congratulations. For those of you that have just met Thich, he's worked with me for about a year, actually. But unlike most of the students I've worked with, it's a unique situation because he was raised a Buddhist in a Vietnamese Buddhist family with aunts, or uncle and grandmother, I think, were Buddhist monks and nuns. So it's very interesting karma that we're all sitting here today. And it's an interesting step in the turning of the Dharma wheel in the West. You know, we talked a lot this week about how the Western world can learn, especially from the Vietnamese Buddhist community that really flourishes here in the U.S. And also how maybe the Vietnamese Buddhist community can learn a bit from the Western Buddhist community, as it's also flourishing here in the West in our contemporary world. So practitioners like Thich are going to be very important in propelling that forward for all of us. You know, primarily joining the monastic sangha is about adopting a culture of living. You don't have to be a monk or a nun or any sort of formal practitioner to get enlightenment, to wake up, to discover your own original nature. But it's, as they say in the Dzogchen tradition, adding luster to the view. We're still figuring out what this looks like in the Western world. What does it mean? So for now, it's good to be maybe a little bit conservative. Stay close to what's been handed down to us as far as our habits and our robes and our liturgy. But gradually, and it's already changing, step by step, something that's valid for our time and place to enliven the Dharma now is appearing. So this culture of living, this adding luster to the view, you know, it seems like we take a lot of rules. You know, Giac just took 15 vows. 10 vows, the 5 of which all lay people take, 5 more of which Mahayana monks take, and 5 more that also Mahayana monks who are especially dedicated to the path take. The Bodhisattva precepts and the Vinaya Pratimoksha precepts. And there's more and more and more as you go up, as Venerable Wanji often talks about. In the Buddhist tradition, all of this hierarchy is really about just taking more and more and more upon your shoulders. And yet, somehow, there's a profound alchemy that happens, wherein we find a greater sense of liberation through the seeming restrictions in our lives. It's as the Tao Te Ching is teaching, and especially the 2nd and 3rd verses, and how we read about in the identity of the relative and absolute in our ceremony, that darkness gives birth to light, high and low exhibit one another. These rules aren't hard to keep. They seem restrictive to many people, but they're really just not that hard to keep. And yet by keeping them when they are difficult, we discover a greater sense of meaning in our lives, a greater sense of freedom with what goes on in our minds, the ability to realize that indeed we have a choice rather than being drug around by our minds perpetually. So that's what this is all about. You don't have to do it. And it is a difficult path. It can be a very difficult path. So we have to applaud all those who set foot to it, but also realize that we're connected as one Sangha. You know, each and every person here is part of the order of ministry of the Buddhist Sangha. So the lay people are here to support the monastics, and the monastics are here to support the lay people in a symbiotic circle. So I invite you to congratulate our brother and look forward to following and seeing what he's doing in Oklahoma City. I don't think we've convinced John and Giac to stay in Kansas City. That would be nice, but maybe there'll be more important spreading the Dharma in Oklahoma City. So thank you.
Thank you. And welcome, brother. Not only as the title of brother, but my new Dharma brother. We welcome you. And I say to you, always stay in the basics. What is this? Don't try to figure out what you are doing tomorrow, what this novice monk is going to do in Oklahoma or on the drive home, but enjoy what is this. right here, right now. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy kneeling in front. Enjoy the Dharma talks. Enjoy the love that is coming to you. Enjoy being a part of a community that embraces you even far away. Not so far. Not so far. We are here, just in front of you. What is this? This is a wonderful moment in time where I can embrace my new brother, to see him as the truth of who he is, and to know you even better. I am grateful. Always go back to what is this?
Brother, I want to welcome you as well and thank you for all of your hard work, your dedication, leading up to this very point, this very moment when you step into this role and take these precepts. And right now, we've just put on the casa. It is a new thing. And these precepts are new to us. And my wish for you, as you go forward from this day, leave your brothers and sisters here in Kansas City, go to Oklahoma City. My wish for you is that you always keep a Suzuki Roshi said, beginner's mind. Much of like what Reverend Bobo had said, keep beginner's mind about what you do. Let it always be fresh. Let it always be new. Let it not get into habit, but always be fresh to you. I also urge you to keep your mind to service and to all sentient beings. Our lives are lives of service to each other and to all in the world. So that's what I wish for you.
And I feel so blessed and honored to be a part of this very, very special day of yours. And it is a moment in time when you have made a commitment. And I know that as the future comes, there will be times when you think, I don't know if I can do this. There will times that it'll be easy, and there's times that it'll be hard. And so I encourage you to begin again and again, that every moment is an opportunity to start fresh and to be not so sure about what things are, but to be present in the moment, to know what is best. In the Tibetan tradition, Longchenpa said 1,000 years ago, things are not as they seem, nor are they otherwise. So we might as well burst out laughing. So I wish for you to have both that serious intent as well as a light heart.
And finally, the very venerable Vern of the Void.
Congratulations. The holy rug is the only place on which to rest your feet and knees. The holy incense is all there is to smell. The holy bell is all there is to hear. The holy flame is all there is to see. And a holy awakened heart is all there is to beat. Best wishes.
Okay, so thank you all for being here. I'll do a quick extinguishing of our candle. Maybe. There we go. Oh, well, that one got carried away. So, now, as promised, please relax your monk now.
I think my legs want to sleep a little bit there.
So we do have cake and chai tea lattes and some sort of fruit and nut clusters and all sorts of things. So please hang out and fellowship with each other and enjoy the extra Sangha gathering. We do need to take a group picture.
I think maybe outside.
And I think maybe outside. We'll get
Everybody
turned in
stay
here
there,
for a
though.
moment.
I need my coat because I'm
We're gonna take our picture outside anyway, so we're just gonna get one with him here, and then we'll all go outside.